Welcome to Forensics 101. Today's topic is how to tell the difference between a boy and a girl. In case you haven't seen some of our other videos, you may be interested to know that I have a degree in criminal justice and forensics, and my husband is a retired police officer who spent a lot of his time on the force working with transgenders.
And so, together in this video, we will be using the science of forensics to help you, the viewer, tell the difference between a boy and a girl. Many people are having great difficulty with this topic. So let's use Justin Bieber as an example. Many teenagers live in rooms like
this one. This is just one example of how many vulnerable young girls have turned their bedrooms into a Justin Bieber shrine and have bought the lie that she is a young male.
And yet, some very perceptive people out there have noticed that Justin Bieber has some very feminine physical features. She has so many feminine features, in fact, that some Photoshop experts have discovered that they can quickly and easily transform any picture of Justin's face into that of a very attractive woman.
It is so easy to do that all Justin's face really needs is some feminine hair and plucked eyebrows. See for yourself.
Justin looks so feminine, in fact, that she appeared on a top 50 list.
Bieber is considered by coedmagazine.com to be one of the top 50 women on the web. In fact, she is so popular that she made number 7. To top it off, the Daily News went as far as stating, "It's a good thing Justin Bieber got a haircut. It turns out he has often been mistaken for a girl."
Now, the average male would protest such an insult to their masculinity. Bieber, a girl, had no reason to protest.
Make no mistake here, Justin Bieber is, in fact, a girl. And so the Coed magazine article answers some very important social questions like, why do so many people see Justin Bieber as a transgendered girl and not a young man? Was Justin Bieber in fact born a girl?
The answer to these questions demand more than just a public opinion poll. You are about to see scientific evidence that exposes the uncomfortable truth that Justin Bieber was in fact born female. Justin Bieber is in fact one of the most infamous transsexuals on the planet. And so, let's begin.
Let's take a close look at Justin Bieber's skull structure and compare it to the skull of a real man. It is important to note that both photos are of individuals who were only aged a few years apart when the photos were taken. In this first image, we can clearly see the contour of both foreheads. Notice the different angles of each forehead. The female forehead is more vertical than the male forehead, and this gives the young female a more childlike appearance. Notice how Daniel Radcliffe has a more angled forehead, angled in a way that is more consistent with being a male. When we look at the individual on the right, we see a more vertical forehead, a trait that is more typically found in females. Bieber doesn't just fail the male forehead test when paired up with Daniel Radcliffe. She fails the same test when paired up with Vanilla Ice. She fails when paired up with Mark Wahlberg as well.
Perhaps Bieber will pass the male brow ridge challenge. The eyebrow ridge is the bony structure located above the eye. It is the ridge located on the brow line. The brow ridge tends to be very thin and subtle in females, but the brow ridge is more rounded and pronounced in males. While looking at the brow ridges of these two individuals, we can easily see that while the actor on the left has a very distinct brow ridge consistent with the typical ridge on a male skull, The female actress on the right has no noticeable brow ridge, one that is consistent with the smooth features of a female skull. Are you seeing it yet? Perhaps.
This will help. Miley Cyrus, the female pop star with red lipstick, might help you see just how feminine Justin's brow ridge truly is, even without the lipstick. In fact, Miley's forehead appears to be just a little more masculine than Justin's. Can you guess what Miley was trying to tell the world about Justin when she decided to go with Justin's hairstyle in eyebrow contour? Now back to the comparison with the male skull.
Let's take a look at the jawline. The female jaw is typically smaller than the male's and is rounded, where the male's jaw is broader and squarer. Notice in the image on the left how the jawline under the ear is much more square in shape. The jaw on the left is consistent with the square jaw found in the male skull. However, in the image on the right, we see a very soft jawline with very smooth definition. This is consistent with the very feminine female skull. Now let's take a look at the same features in comparison to a known female.
In case you didn't notice, in both images, the angle of the foreheads indicate that we are looking at two females. Can you see which female has bigger ears? And when we take a close look at the brow ridge, or lack thereof, we can clearly see that the flat brow ridges also indicate that these are both females. And a close look at the jaw contour reveals that both of these girls have skulls that were formed by female DNA. Justin and Selena do, in fact, make a perfect couple.
A couple of girls, that is.
And one feature that girls have, a feature that is quite easy to see in girls with a normal, healthy build, is the size of the shoulders. In fact, this feature is an easy way to determine the gender of both men and women.